Hello, everyone.
Howdy.
It's William and Andrew here.
What?
He's back, everybody. For a little bit, anyway.
For a day or two.
For a day or two.
Oh, I lost one of those. Oh no.
Oh, no. So how are y'all doing? All two of you watching us right now. I see Suzanne's here. Thank you for joining us. Anybody else out there, please say hi. So we have more vintage bone beads tonight and some shell. Marianne is here. Thank you for watching. And we're going to do 30 more lots tonight. And then that's all of the bone beads we've got for now. That's all that we got, at least in this buyout that we did. So these are all vintage, and some of them are very different than what we've had before. If you missed yesterday's, there were some pretty cool pendants and things. Sorry, my stand is getting under my chair. Hold on, everybody. I had my chair all situated. There we go. All right. We had some pretty cool stuff yesterday. If you missed that, some stuff we've never had before, some pendants and kind of dagger pendants and some really cool stuff. So if you didn't see that yesterday, check it out. I know not everyone likes the bone idea, but if you do, it's another natural material. A lot of these come from places where they use every part of the animal, and this is part of how they use it. So if you like them, check it out. Lots of good stuff yesterday that's still available. I did not get the invoicing done from yesterday. I was kind of taking the day off yesterday a little bit, so I didn't get much of the invoicing done. And today I ended up running around a lot more. I had to run up to Johnstown for some things. I was just running around a lot more than I thought I was going to throughout the day. And then Andrew got home and we were unpacking his stuff. And so it's been a day. It's been a few days. I don't like to get too behind on the invoicing because I like to let you all know where you stand. And I like to get that done and out of the way, and so that they're ready to, go over into the shipping department. But my shipping department is a mess right now because Barb has retired, and Barb is usually the one who organizes everything. I drop it off there, and she organizes. So I'm trying to get myself into a schedule, and it's not as easy as just shipping stuff out. I got to really get my life set up in a way that it's easier for me to go over there and get it organized kind of in my way.
We're about to do a big overhaul.
Yeah, we're going to be doing a big overhaul of the shipping department because we're probably going to be moving the casting equipment into where the shipping department is right now. So that's going to give us some time and some opportunity to reorganize that and get it set up in the way that I kind of want it to be set up to work. The nice thing about that is also going to be that Barb was never sure when she could move things totally out. And we're going to come up with a system that these lives are going to be good for a week. And you'll be able to claim from them for a week. And then they're going to get reabsorbed back into our stock and our bead room and whatever, because the shipping department is overflowing with lots that are. We still have last year's Halloween lots, for example, packed up in a box over in the overflow of the shipping department. So there's stuff from all over there, and I would like that to get reabsorbed as we're planning to reorganize a lot of the cottage, actually. Star Cottage Studio is getting a makeover inside with all the stuff because Andrew needs it organized for using it.
I'm excited, but I'm also kind of dreading it.
Yeah, it's exciting and full of dread at the same time.
The best kind.
But yeah, he was working in Andrea's and Chuck's studio, and he realized how nice it was when everything had its place.
Correct.
And so we are going to work on trying to get everything in its
I
place.
think I'm gonna add some bone from our own stock for tonight.
Okay.
That way we can kind of have a little bit of this and a little bit of that.
Yeah, in case anybody missed, some of the bone from our own stock we've only shown like once ever. So we're going to add a little bit of that to this tonight, sounds like. And that'll round us out for the bone. And yeah, hey, Andrea's watching on Instagram. Thank you so much. Let's see.
Who's watching?
Who's watching? Suzanne is here. Marianne is here. Suzanne says, by the time Cinnamon got near the phone, you were off and she was sad. Aw, poor Cinnamon. I know, yesterday was very short because I went through, I did it. I didn't have much to say because I took the day off and I was going to eat. Well, I had already eaten some and I was going to eat some more because I went and got Chipotle yesterday and it was good, but I stuffed myself. I was way too full by the end of the evening.
That kind of sounds good.
I know. It was very good, actually. Although not as good as I remember. Like,
That's just because nothing's as good when I'm not there.
that's what it is.
The
No,
flavor of life has been
I feel like it was maybe.
diminished.
Yeah, I don't know. I
No,
I don't know if that's
I
it.
don't think that's what it is.
I don't know. Like, it used to be that I was like hooked on Chipotle. Like, we would go not often because we couldn't afford to go often, but it was always like it felt like, yes, this is hitting the spot. And yesterday I had it, and it was good, but it just didn't hit the spot in the same way.
You know, I think also we're getting kind of spoiled because I think we're pretty decent cooks.
Yeah.
So, like, when you go out and you spend all this money, and then, because I stopped in West Virginia, I'm not going to say where I stopped. Well, I will say where what I will say is that I got a veggie burger, and it did not fulfill me in the way that I had hoped.
Okay.
But I'm sure it was okay,
Mm-hmm.
and it was okay for travel food.
Yeah.
But
yeah, we make pretty good meals generally, I have to say. So
yes, well, I was definitely spoiled this past couple days.
That looked good.
I felt like a little king. I didn't have to do anything.
Andrew said, my food is better, wink.
Correct.
Mm-hmm. It
She
looked better.
Is a trained vegan chef, and everything was so fresh and good. And the tomatoes actually tasted like tomatoes.
They had a taste to them.
I know the ones today that I had at that one place.
No.
It just was like a round red.
That's the same that tomatoes and green grapes. I feel like green grapes, and when I was growing up, I loved green grapes. And now when I buy them, and I bought some today, we're going to see. But when I buy them now, they have like almost no taste.
Did you get those long ones?
No.
Because there's a new grape that's like long.
Yeah.
Those are pretty good.
I think they had them there, but they came in packs that were like tiny. And they were expensive. But yeah, I used to love green grapes growing up, and that's the only grape I ate. I never ate red grapes really, or the darker grapes. And now I like the red grapes because they have a flavor, and the green grapes are like water. It's weird.
Yeah, I can see that.
But we got grapes today. We got peaches. We
What are y'all
got
having for dinner, Andrea?
we got watermelon.
Curious.
Susan is here. Hello, Susan. She said my food is better than West Virginia. Probably better than the Chipotle too, honestly.
Yeah, it was. I can vouch for that.
Suzanne says, do the invoices at your time. Thank you. Marion says, had to try multiple times to get my computer to actually load properly. For a while, I thought I would have to plan on how to get a new one. Uh-oh.
That's stressful.
That is stressful.
We have
hopefully.
to do that for one of our computers.
Yeah, Andrew's computer is dying. This desktop, I think, is actually starting to go too.
I think they have like a self-destruct button built in. And they're
This
like,
one is
"What?"
very old. This one is from 2016, I think.
Is that very old?
That's 8 years old.
Is that old?
That's pretty old, I think, for a computer. But it doesn't upgrade to any of the newest anything. It's like 2 OSs behind. The hard drive died. The external hard drive died a year or two ago. I haven't been able to back it up since then because I haven't bought a new one.
Is that something we should do?
At this point, probably not until we think about another one. But really, I might just get a monitor and use my laptop and iPad. Just hook them in when I'm sitting here.
So we can't like sell that. Nobody's gonna buy it.
Probably nobody's gonna buy that one.
Does it have gold in it?
I don't. Probably on the boards they have a little bit of gold.
I saw that it like destroys the environment though when they like cook the motherboards to get the gold out.
Oh yeah.
It makes like the water black. So,
I don't know. Apple does some recycling of their stuff. They have a specialized machines that they used to give them a name that take apart the iPhones and they take all the stuff out of them and they reuse all the rare earth metals and stuff.
Oh yeah.
But I don't know if they do it for their computers. I know they accept computers for recycling, but you don't get a trade-in or anything. So it'd have to be dead. Harry is here. Hello, Harry.
Did you get your comp fix, Harry?
There's more stuff from in my. Don't make that face, he says. Yeah, so Harry has more stuff on the way, but his kiln fix is going to be a while, it sounds like.
Oh boy.
Marianne says big jobs are a little intimidating. Yes. Big jobs, moving the studio. It's going to be a big job.
Think once it's all set up, it'll be nice. Because then I can actually reach stuff.
And use stuff.
Yeah. And one thing that I really like about Andrea's studio is that she has these leg post vices, and they're built in such a way that you can take them apart. So if you're traveling, you can just normally when that stuff is, they have it, it's bolted into like a thing that you can't move. So this way you can go all the way around the piece.
Oh, that's nice.
So that's nice too, that you can get it from every angle, and if you're teaching, then nobody gets a crappy, bad view.
Yeah.
Because I've been in classes where I saw the back of the teacher's head.
More than the front.
And I had to like imagine what was happening.
Yeah, that's no good. Marianne says, I find that with grapes as well. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with grapes these days.
I did have those champagne grapes, those ones that had that like cotton candy and they were little.
You're so fancy.
I know. Not recently. But they were good.
Harry says we had Greek chicken thighs and sweet potatoes, red peppers, onions, white potatoes roasted with garlic, shawarma sauce for supper. Homemade, wonderful. That sounds delicious. Marianne says, I can't upgrade mine to Windows 11. Yeah. Windows 11 has been out for a little bit, right? And that's they're soon going to try and force everything. I think they've already tried to force a lot of people over. Yeah. Jeanette says, bad day at doctor's appointment. My glucose is way out of whack. I saw your post that you weren't having a good day with the glucose. So sorry to hear that. Hopefully you get that under control. And get on to whatever food or diet you need to be on to make that happen. I know that can't be easy. I don't know how people do that, because in our life, if we had to worry about that, that'd be a lot of extra thing, a big extra thing. Dennis says, I'm disappointed in myself. I've been watching what I eat. In the past year, I've lost 52 pounds. I just don't know what else to do. They're increasing my Ozempic dosage. I don't know. I don't want to get too into it with you, but did your doctor tell you something that you might be doing wrong after you went over your diet and stuff? It seems strange that they wouldn't sit down with you and let you know what might be not working. But sometimes that just happens too, right? As we age and as we change. Like I know my thyroid dosage over time just had to be increased, because just had to be. It's one of those things. Harry says, sorry about the blood sugar. Mine was at 62 this afternoon. I was seeing a bright light. Just got a continuous glucose meter. We'll start that tomorrow.
Don't go towards the light, Harry.
No, don't go toward the light, Harry. You got to get that figured out. Susie is here next door. Hello, hello. Danette's trying to get a monitor, but the continuous, just the regular one, fighting with insurance.
Oh no.
That's always a hassle. Danette says my dad was diabetic also, so it's a hereditary thing too. Susan had leftover tofu pasta that I added spinach and homegrown cucumbers to. It was good. That's good. Nancy says my strength is slowly returning. That's awesome. I've been trying to do a little bit of working out. I do 10 minutes in the evening, and that's usually, I used to do a half hour, because my Apple Watch would tell you like you had to complete a half hour in a day of exercise to complete your circle.
Yeah.
And so I used to force myself to do a half hour, and sometimes that was just a lot. It felt like a lot. And I think it stopped me from doing it. So lately I've been telling myself 10 minutes. If I do more, that's fine. But if I at least get 10 minutes in, and I've noticed a difference just doing 10 minutes.
I should do that too.
Yeah, you should. You can do 10 minutes with me. It's really not hard. And it's just 10 minutes, and I can block out some time for 10 minutes a day. And it's crazy the amount of difference that I'm feeling in just doing that. Like, you wouldn't think 10 minutes does anything.
Yeah, you seem real strong today.
I felt stronger. I felt sturdier, like steadier. Like, it feels weird to say, but like, you feel like solid in your body, kind of, a little bit more.
I don't know what that feels like.
Yeah. It's definitely a difference. So 10 minutes, I'm saying 10 minutes of a little bit of weight exercise. And all I've got is resistance bands. So I do 10 minutes of pushing the resistance bands in different ways with my legs and my arms. And then I do a little bit of like core stuff, like either sit-ups, not full sit-ups, like what do you call them, crunches, and just like leg raises.
Y'all want to do a project?
You going to do a project today, everybody?
Maybe if you have this stuff, maybe I'll do a project with everybody.
That'd be fun.
It's been a minute.
I know. I was thinking they haven't gotten any projects lately, because I don't do projects.
They're going to be like, I just watched the QVC.
It pretty much has been QVC here, right? I haven't even done just a Let's Chat. Kind of one of those. They're kind of been Let's Chats, right? Marion says, my thyroid dosage has been adjusted up once and down once. Yeah, mine was adjusted quite a bit. I think I started at 60, and now I'm at 180, and we went through like all 60, 90, 120, 180. No, I'm actually back down to 120 now.
Y'all, there's supposed to be a meteor shower, double, triple meteor shower, double step meteor shower. Look out the window.
Of course. It's completely, can't probably see, it's completely gray out there.
It's going to storm tonight.
Yep. And it was supposed to do it last night too. I didn't really check, but whenever I did look out last night, like while we were doing the live, and it was gray and cloudy too. Every time there's and it's not supposed to be a spectacular meteor shower. This is actually one of the There's only like 20 of them an hour, but they're supposed to be one of the brightest. They said some are as bright as the moon.
August, there's usually a good meteor.
In August 12th, I think they said, is the Pleiades. And that's
on Heather Power's birthday.
And that's there's 60 an hour in that one. So this is like a third of that one.
Before the pandemic, we were planning a meteor shower themed retreat. So she was gonna have all these projects, and then it was gonna be like her birthday party too.
Oh, that's cool.
But then, you know.
Then it happened.
So that didn't happen.
Jeanette says, Harry, I'm glad you got a continuous monitor. 62 is scary also. Susan's not a happy camper. Our 2020 Honda Civic was officially totaled. Now we have to get another car. This one was basic but perfect for us. It only had 14,700 miles.
Didn't you just get it?
Yeah, didn't you just recently get that too? 14,000 miles only. That, yeah, for 2020, that's in good shape. That's a shame. Hopefully they're at least giving you a good bit of the value toward it if they're going to total it. That's a shame though. My one time my car was going to be totaled when I was T-boned by a tractor trailer truck, and we couldn't afford another car, so we ended up not going through insurance because they were going to total it. And my dad, thankfully, was an auto body specialist, and he put the frame of the car, they had a big frame machine that yanked the frame, and he straightened that car right back out.
Wow.
And it drove like a dream. I mean, there was no problem with it after that. But
it's starting to rain now.
Of course, it's been raining off and on here all day.
That's kind of good, because the grass is brown.
Yeah, we need the rain. It's been a light, gentle rain most of today, and that's been good.
I was driving in Virginia, and it was not a light, gentle rain.
No.
But I persevered.
Good.
Correct.
Nancy said, had a Reiki massage earlier, very helpful. That's good. We have a few friends who do that.
Yeah, that sounds nice.
I know. Sandra is here. Hello, Sandra. Thanks for joining. I got your email, Sandra. I'm going to pass it on to Andrew in a little bit and see what he says on that.
What is it?
It's about, she has a customer looking to switch out a ear wire, but it's one of those ones that are attached and they clip in, and wants to see if they can switch out just the wire piece of it. So I'll show you. Harry says, I walk on the elliptical for 40 minutes every day at 10:30 a.m. That's good. I want to start adding more running into my 10 minutes because that would be good cardio. I need to add cardio because I feel like I'm getting stronger, but I don't feel like I'm losing a lot of weight. So I do want to add some cardio.
Are you in your bulking season?
I guess I'm in bulking right now.
That somebody said, they're like, boy, you bulking or what? And I was like, no. It's like, I'm just getting happy dumpling.
Happy dumpling. So I do need to add cardio. And I kind of want to get a treadmill, but I kind of don't. Because I don't know if it would just become a clothes hanger.
Sometimes it's come out for free.
Yeah, if I could get one for free or cheap. My mom had sent me one for pretty cheap, and I should have probably jumped on it. But if I get one for free or cheap, I'll probably try it. But I don't know if in the winters, I would definitely use it more because I do miss running, especially in the winter. But in the summer, I should just go outside and run.
Let me tell you, I need to do something. Because I was at Peters Valley, and they're like, let's go for a walk. And then so I said, all right, I'll go with y'all. And they're like, then they start taking their clothes off. I said, what's happening here? And then there's this water hole.
Uh-huh.
And I guess I knew there was a water hole.
You knew where you were going, but
I didn't actually know that people were like going into the water.
Right. Everybody's stripping down.
I was like, ooh, I'm not doing that.
Keeping your clothes on.
Correct.
You were the kid in the pool with all of their clothes on.
Correct. And when they took the picture, I put my neck low so it didn't
show that you had clothes on.
Correct. But also, then there was this young kid, and he booked it up that hill. I was like, "Is this a race?" I was like,
Like Grandpa back here needs a breath of fresh air.
"Oh, look at this flower! I found this woodpecker feather."
You find it all. I gotta take a picture back here.
I know. Hold up.
Buy one of those. They sell the cans of oxygen now at the Giant Eagle.
For people to use.
For people to use their aerosol cans with a mouthpiece, so you can do the oxygen for yourself.
Oh, I probably need that. Or walk around the block, maybe.
Lift the 10 minutes of weights.
Do something, because that was almost embarrassing. I was like trying to hold it back, you know.
Yeah, and then you don't get enough air when you do that.
So I was
it's even worse.
Lightheaded and seeing visions.
Yeah. Susan says, I use my stationary bike for 30 minutes every morning while watching the news. I think it helps. Yeah, I'm sure it does. Marion says, I try to do 150 minutes a week, often in 10 to 15 minute intervals.
Walking?
Is that the walking or just exercise in general? Yeah, I try to do, at least when I go to run, I try to do a mile. And usually that's about a mile I can get done in about 12 to 13 minutes. And then I usually try to at least walk or do more running to complete a full half hour. And I do that when I go out and run. Because it usually takes me like that first mile to even get my brain to like kind of relax and not be thinking about work and all that. And I usually like the running to kind of get my mind off things. By the time I complete my first mile, I've just like kind of started to getting out of the work mode. So I try to keep going a little bit and do at least a half hour.
I used to walk every night.
Yeah, you used to walk for miles.
And then I think, I can't remember, well, the pandemic happened.
COVID happened, and that's when you really stopped.
And then I think I put on so much weight that my knee was starting to hurt. And then I didn't like it, so...
That's why I think if you do 10 minutes with me, that would help your knee, probably help your joints.
Well, my knee would have been pretty okay.
Yeah, just exercising. I know, right?
You hear me? I knocked hard.
You knocked hard on that one.
Correct. I don't need to tempt fate. I got some more retreats I gotta go to this summer, and then it's gonna be. Then I'm gonna be like, hold up for Grandpa.
Mm-hmm. Susan says we had a storm earlier. Refreshing to have that rain. Yeah.
Susan's surreal.
Mm-hmm. Harry says we got the thermocouple for the smaller kiln today, and we'll get that working and back in production this week. We had storms all night. I was awake from 3 a.m. on. More to come tonight. Yeah, I did not sleep well last night.
Me neither. You know, I think also I've been thinking about all the stuff I'm gonna make, which is kind of nice.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you know,
it's like a kid before the first day of school. Yeah, it's nice to think about, but you don't get much rest to do the work.
Then you end up thunderstruck. And I didn't want to take, because sometimes I'll take a Benadryl when I'm on the road, so that I can like conk myself out.
Yeah.
But
you would have never gotten up for your early start today.
I slept in a little bit, so I think 7.
I woke up at one point. I think it was 5:30. Gertie got me up, and
Right.
I checked to see if you had left yet. And I said, nope, he's still there. And then at one point when I woke up, you had sent the ETA little thing.
I had a good time.
Yeah, you did. I was surprised.
There, you know, I'm like, Tuesday is my new favorite day to travel.
Good travel day.
Because was today's Tuesday?
Yep.
Because there was hardly anybody on the road for part of it. Of course, there's one part in West Virginia when people are like, I don't know, I just don't get, like, they're like, why put high beams on in the daytime? I don't get that.
I don't know, but people
like,
do.
I get like daytime running lights, like Like, we don't have a choice in the van. It's just on.
They're on.
It's automatic.
Well, that's the same with the car too. The daytime, they're on.
Yeah, but not high beams. And like, this car from Maryland, I saw the license plate because I tried to get behind it, and they kept doing this thing where somehow I kept getting in front of them, and they kept going right up just where it hit the light in the mirror. So it's like a piercing into my eyeball while we're going around these mountain curves. And I was like, is it like on purpose? Like, are they trying to like run me off the road?
Like you
what?
crazy, I know.
You know.
Susan says got the car 4 years ago because that Civic got totaled too.
Oh boy.
Oh
Where y'all
no.
parking?
I know what's going on.
You put them concrete.
Suzanne says no rain here, 115 degree heat index.
115.
No, thank you.
You can cook outside at that point.
Sue says you're so lucky to have a family member who's good with vehicles. Yes. My whole side of my dad's family, all the brothers, they used to have an actual garage that they owned together and did used car repair and stuff and sales. So yeah, it's a good thing. Beth says, welcome back, Andrew. Neighbor Beth.
Hello. Thank you. I was talking to Duck Bruce today.
Oh, nice.
And she's
Beth.
thinking of coming in tomorrow. So I may run up there.
What time?
I don't know yet.
Oh. What for?
To take her mom out for her birthday.
Oh, nice.
So, and then it's like, we're not open normally, but I'll run out.
Okay.
Because we do open by appointment. And people, when they find out that we're coming in for an appointment, they get like, they don't want to inconvenience
I know.
us.
It's too bad it wasn't today because I had to run up there today anyway.
Yeah. But, yeah, it's no problem for us to do it as long as we know a time.
Yep.
Now, if it's us sitting there all day just looking at my phone,
I know, waiting for somebody to show up.
then that is not the way.
No, but we do by appointment at the store, so don't feel weird about that. That's a whole thing. We do that.
And if you have to cancel, just cancel an hour before, so we have plenty of time to
Not show up.
Yeah, correct. Instead of, because if you tell us 5 minutes before, we're already there.
Yeah.
And then use the gas.
Yeah. Suzanne says Charlie is a happy dumpling.
Oh, that's me.
That's what Andrew calls himself.
I said I'm happy dumpling days, and I can't remember who I said that, but I think they almost did something because I caught them off guard with that comment.
That would catch a lot of people off guard, I think. Marianne says no skinny dipping.
No, everything was covered.
Everything was covered.
Yeah, no, nobody got
No, completely naked.
No, that's different.
That's a different kind of times.
I think they did go. Some of the young people
went back.
Not to that one. They went nights. I saw snakes in the water. I'm not going to that. Especially not Nickety Doo-Dah.
Nickety Doo-Dah.
You're gonna have a new reality, and when they have to like suck snake venom from your butt cheeks.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
Sue said, if Andrew's grandpa, then I guess I'm great auntie.
Well, when you have to, if you can hike up the hill and not be wheezing and puffing, then you're not.
You're doing your bike. You might do better than Andrew.
But if you wheezing and puffing like me, then I'm like, oh.
Marianne says 10 minutes of walking makes the body feel so much better. She said usually I do walking. Yeah.
That didn't necessarily make me feel better. That made me feel old and busted.
Just when you're walking by yourself.
Correct.
Right?
At your own pace.
At your own pace.
I also get into this thing, like I've realized I probably shouldn't walk with other people because I start walking faster.
I know. When we were doing that hike, I was like, where are you going?
And I was like I was back in New York. And
he's turboing up the hill through the hike.
And
I'm like, why are we doing this again? What
for
is
health and safety. But you know what? I realized that is maybe not good. I mean, it's nice, you know, to be with.
If you know you're going to do a power walk, then that's one thing. But
you got surprised.
I was surprised. I thought we were just going on a hike, gentle paced hike. Go see the what's it called? The waterfall.
That was not anything.
No, there was no waterfall. It was a trickle, a water trickle. Marion
I was
says,
surprised there was even that.
I know. It had just rained the day before. That's why.
Oh, because it
like, but it did the pouring rain the day before, so it was just all that runoff probably happening. Marion says, I used to have prospective employees not show up for their interviews. So rude. Yeah, that's no good. But that happens. Michelle's going to watch the replay coming back from the doctor. Everybody's coming back from the doctor today. We got comment, user, did that work? Got some spam happening here.
Take care of that, because I'm going to go on.
Taking care of that.
And then I'll show them a project. And, well, first I'll show you all what I did.
Are we doing the project before the live sale?
Yeah, and because I got confused about some of the stuff, so it's probably better if you do it. Because, you know, I didn't get to work over yesterday, so there's that.
You're supposed to be pricing things for me.
Yeah, I got confused.
How you got confused?
I'm out of practice.
We got to get him back into practice fast.
Y'all forgot.
All right, well, let me move out of the way. And Andrew's going to show you what he made.
Go turn it around.
And then he's going to show you a project.
Play clothes.
I want to see you in play clothes. Hold on. Let me move my stuff out of the way here. One of my moms that she gave to me after she retired.
Yeah, I squeezed myself into it.
My mom stopped by today. We didn't even know it because we had laid down for a nap.
Yeah, I needed.
We both were like out of it.
Restorative.
And then she stopped by and didn't even know she was coming.
She was like, "Get up off the bed." No.
Okay, we got more comments we had to ban.
Oh no.
I know, it's that day. We only have 8 people watching, and one of them's got to be a spam or troll.
All right.
Ooh, leg locked up a little bit.
Hey y'all. I'm gonna be right there. I lost one of the things I made. Actually, I lost a bunch of stuff.
How'd you lose it?
At one point, I was messing around in the van, and I pulled out my apron, and they were in my pocket.
And it went out.
I heard. Yeah, I thought I got everything, but apparently not. Hi. Glitchy video. What's glitchy? Go on ahead and like and share this video so I'm not sitting by myself. Oh, of course, when I come, the numbers drop even more. Oh, ta-ta. Y'all gonna give me a complex.
I know.
All right.
Our spammers leaving us.
Oh. Marion says, some of the other people whose lives I watch set the comments to subscribers only. Well, that's something to think about. So, if you didn't know, I was out at Airmont, and I had a lovely time. I worked with an artist named Jim Beauvais, who lives 45 minutes away from me, but who I had to drive 9 hours to take a class with. But he teaches at the university here, and I didn't want to go into debt for life again. So that was easier to take that class. And so it was a survey of casting. So it was every day was new casting. So the first day worked with wax, we worked with soft wax, and I made an orange, which is gone. And then
orange left.
yeah, it's somewhere in the van maybe, or in West Virginia. Somebody's gonna find that and be delighted.
I know.
And then the other thing that I did was the first day, we learned about investment. So we invested the orange and the strawberry. And a lot of people just did one flask per thing, and that was probably smarter because they got just more stuff. Like they just were able to cast more stuff. And I wanted to try to learn how to do more like production style. So I wanted to try to do multiple pieces in the flask. And so some of them came out incomplete. So this one of the leaves didn't turn out, and it actually has a little bail on the back, and that turned out, which I'm really pleased with. I still haven't polished this up. This is just brass brushed. So I think that's pretty cool for just being brass brushed. And then the second day, we learned about hard wax, and we also learned it's all like all these new things. So like um, working with the soft wax is way different than working with a hard wax. The hard wax is a blue wax that has a plasticizer in it, and you actually have to carve it and file it. So it's very much like a plastic. So it's not the soft wax. You just mush that business up, and you can actually form it with your fingers. But with the hard wax, you're not forming that with your fingers. You'd be wishing and praying, but it's not gonna happen. So that's what I made this out of. And Suzanne says, "Sweet, thanks." So that's how I made this ring. This is actually 2 blocks that so he is a minimalist and I'm not a minimalist. I'm a maximalist, texture everywhere, put everything on everything and double stuff it into the universe. And he's real precise. My brain doesn't really work that way. I kind of wish I did. That would be real convenient like, but it's not the way that I work. So anyways, it's 2 blocks. I started it the way that he showed us, and I was like, I need to just do this because otherwise I'm gonna be fiddling with this business all day until eternity and then plus. So this is 2 blocks that I welded together, and basically like glue them together with the heat of the flame. And then I did this kind of weird thing where I dripped the melty plastic wax until it made these kind of like side bevels, and then I carved it out and yeah. So if you see my Instagram or my artist page for Andrew Thornton Artists, I show the whole process of that, and there's videos that walk through what we did every day. We also he did demos on tufa casting and cuttlefish bone casting, and I've done the cuttlefish bone casting before. Yeah, we hosted a class on that back in the day. But I took one extra so that I could, or I took the one that from the class I was supposed to use so that I can do it because I love that texture, y'all. I love that texture. Anyway, so you're like, what's this ring about? Huh? What's this ring? This is blank. We got a big zero ring. No. I made this little face. I carved this, y'all. This is not a doll face that I squished in the clay. I made this with my heart. So that was the other thing is, I actually haven't worked with wax very much. I mean, when I was a child, I used to buy with my, we had a thing where there were nails from we had our roof redone after a hurricane. And so we had the roofers come and they had us get like, I think it was like a penny a nail we found in the flower beds and in the yard. So we ran around and got a bunch of stuff. And I think, or maybe it was a nickel. I think it was a nickel per nail that we found. So, anyways, I saved up my nickels and we went and got paraffin wax. And my mom was using it for canning, and I used it to make these little flowers, which I think she may still have those if they didn't melt in the Florida heat. And so that was like pretty much the extent of my wax work. At one point, Bob Burkett tried to show me wax work, and he just like launched into this figure and was like, "Do-do-do-do-do-do." And then I was like, oh, that's not for me. But you know what? Yeah. Well, when it wasn't a real class, he was just kind of showing me over his shoulder kind of thing. And I at that point in life I was more timid about what I can do. Like I don't know if y'all realize this or not, but I after the pandemic, I started becoming more confident in the things that I thought I could do. And so all things are possible, I believe. And I started getting shows more, and I started making things, and I started doing things that I never thought I could do. I started going to workshops. I never thought I could go to workshops. I said, that's for somebody else. That's not for me. But then, if there's a will, there's a way. Anyway, so I made the space, and that's what's going to be set. I need to profile this a little bit and polish it up, and then I'm going to solder this down, and then it's going to be like this. It's kind of a clunker though, so I've been grinding out the back of this ring or this face, excuse me, and then I've been grinding out the back of this. Which Andrea, who's my new mentor for metals, she showed me this process called galvanic etching, and it's an electronic process instead of acid. So when I lived in New York, I had actually done a bunch of etching for intaglio printing, and I'll post pictures maybe in the Patreon because I haven't been able to post there lately. So I'll post the pictures of the prints that I made in college. And you'll be like, you made that? They look different, kind of. Susan says, and that will be amazing, Andrew. And I kind of like the zero ring idea. Yeah, but I like more. More is more, right? I thought almost putting hinge on this, and then it could like open up, and then there's like a secret inside. But I need to take another class to learn hinges. So anyway, so there's that. And what else did I do in that class? I mean, a lot of it was just learning to work with the materials and to see a lot of the demos. And so I learned how to do that. And then after that, I saw one of my friends and got to hang out for breakfast. And whenever I leave a bead show, or if I'm leaving a retreat, I get a little bit blue. And
And I guess it's because you're surrounded by like-minded people, and everything seems possible then. Sometimes I don't think people realize how isolating it can be sometimes when you're a professional artist. A lot of times I go into the studio and I turn on my audiobook. See, I didn't say book on tape. I said audiobook. So I go into the studio and then I'm by myself most of the day. And I see William at dinner and we eat something while we watch TV, and that's that. So it's nice when you're around other people and you can have conversations and you talk about artwork and things that you know that I don't do when I'm in my regular studio practice. So anyways, so that I was a little bit blue about that, but then I got to hang out with Andrea and Chuck, and then they treated me like I was king royalty, and that was super nice. We did the etching, the galvanic etching, and what I was saying before is I did learn etching in New York, but it was acid etching. It was using ferric chloride etching. And it's a similar process. There's a lot of things that are kind of the same, but then there's also a lot of things that are not. And one of the things that happened was after I finished college, or after I finished that class, I didn't have access to that studio anymore. So even if I wanted to, I couldn't really go and etch the plates because I lived in a tiny apartment in New York with no ventilation and with 80 million roommates. And so there wasn't really, I couldn't really go out and etch in my tiny apartment with the acid. So at least I didn't feel comfortable. And back in 2009, how do you call that? 2009? 2009. I was like, how do you call that? The old times. How many years is that? More than a few. How many? 15 years. 15 years ago, I took an etching class with Max Goodman at and at Etsy. They used to be in a warehouse around the corner from where I lived, and they started doing classes there. And there was a teacher named Max Goodman, and some of y'all might know her from Craftsy. She doesn't make jewelry anymore. She does horses mostly. But anyway, so she was teaching the class, and it got rescheduled and whatever. And they eventually cleared out a closet and had us do the etching in the closet. And it was just it was a fun class. I mean, the things I made were not excellent by any stretch of the imagination. But that, it was nice to do that. And it was funny because this is early days Etsy before there's shareholders and stuff. So they're like, oh, y'all want PBRs? And this is the use time. So it's like, oh, sure, I'll take one. And then they're like, oh, y'all want to go and see this photo shoot? We're doing this. We're launching this campaign next week. Y'all want to see? And we're like, all right. So we went down and hung out while they were off to the side while they were doing a photo shoot. And back then they didn't use, I guess some of them were professional models, but a lot of them were ordinary people. They weren't people who are supermodel style. So it felt, I don't know, it was just a different vibe back then. Anyway, so that was that. And then fast forward to when we moved to Pennsylvania, I had set up a little bit of an etching station now that I had room. And I did probably a couple things, and then I did not do them anymore. And the reason why is that because it was the results I was getting were inconsistent. So I could not really figure out how to do it, and sometimes it would smear or it would move or pieces would fall off, and I just could not get it. And I was like, well, and then also there was a store back in the old times called Radio Shack. Y'all remember that? Radio Shack? Well, guess what? They closed, and that's where you bought the ferric chloride. And so I didn't have access to that. And then plus, what do you do with this chemical once you're done? So I kind of didn't want to do that, and it was kind of messy. And I was getting inconsistent results, and I was like, well, And then fast forward to last year, I took a workshop with Sharon Massey, and she did an enameling on steel workshop. And I was like, that's pretty cool. Maybe I'll give it a try again. And I kind of filed it away in the back of my mind as something that maybe I would do, try again sometime soon. And then Andrea said, hey, you want to come over? And I show you how to do this galvanic etching, and it'll change your life. And so I said, okay. I'm ready to be changed. I'm ready to embrace the change, to emerge from the butterfly, merge into the butterfly from the chrysalis. I didn't say that. I didn't want to creep her out. So, oh, Andrea says she can teach me hinges. Oh, good. I'll be down next week. No, I won't. I'll space it out so I don't burn you all out. But anyway, so she taught me this. My mentor, Andrea from NC Black, taught me how to do galvanic etching. And the cool thing about this is that I can use this in so many different ways. So I think what I'm going to do first is I'm going to make some enamel pieces with these. And then I'm going to show you this. All right, now if you're sensitive, don't be sensitive. No, just don't tell me about it. No. So the Olympics happened, and I actually thought that Dionysus kind of festival party kind of scene was kind of cool. So we took an image from that and turned it into this piece. I don't know if y'all can see that or not, but I thought it was cool. So the cool thing is that I can use these in enameling, but I can also use these in construction of like building things like collages, but with metal. And I can work with different textures. And I've been using my phone to like snap pictures of unusual textures and patterns and things, and I can convert those into different things that I can then etch and then use those in my work. So it's just another wonderful toolbox or tool in my toolbox, and I'm super excited to use that. Marion says it's hard to see the details. So it's hard to see it because it's not. No, I don't necessarily think that's gonna make it better. But the thing about this is that if it's just fresh, there's not contrast, right? So it's just metal on metal. And so you only catch the differences in the light when there's a shift of light. But if I just wanted to have a metal piece, then I can patina this and then all the details pop. So, so if you can't see the details, it's real detailed. It picks up everything. I don't know if does that make it easier to see? I don't think that makes it easier to see. I think what it is there's not enough contrast, right? So once you patina this, then all the details get popped out. whether you like it or not. You see everything then. But I mean, that's real detailed. I like that one. So this is cool because I can also do champleve with this. So if you don't know what that is, it's where you take enamel and then you fill those cavities and then you fire it and it fuses down and then you stone it off, and the lines that are raised then become your kind of dividing, like a drawing line, but in metal. So this has a lot of different applications I can use, and I'm super excited about that. After we did this, then we worked with a lot. We did a lot. So we did etching. Yeah. After we did the etching, then we did we formed spiculums, and so if you don't know what that is, I'll move that out. They're these tapered hollow tubes, and I can't. Some of these I made, and then some of them Andrea made as a sample demo, and then but I'll show you some of Andrea's etchings. So she gave me these, and I'm maybe gonna do something with them, and then y'all can maybe. Do y'all like that idea of having something? That'd be good. Make a pendant. This one's a moon with a star. This one's a face. But I'll do that on a different show if we're gonna sell them. But I love this one. That's beautiful. So those are ones from Andrea. And then that's it. Oh. Angel says, Andrew, speaking of texture, palm tree bark is surprising. Oh, good. Yeah. I'm trying to think of, yeah, we used to have a palm tree in our front yard, and it actually had these really sweet fruit that were, I didn't realize what, how lucky we were to have those fruits, but apparently they're not real as common. And I tried to look them up, and then I got thunderstruck with the price. I was like, how much is that? Didn't ask for that. And then, and they make them into a liquor, and then they get people drunk. So I don't know if I was a drunk child or not, but they were delicious. And then these are these faces. Those are really lovely. Look how much detail you can see in the light. But I think if they're enameled, they'll even be more detailed because all of that color will go into the recesses, and it will really, like, all those highlights will kind of get picked up. And I can enamel these and do some cool things with that. Look at that. I can do maybe some forming with this, like sink it down and then maybe like solder it to some. I don't know. It could be cool. So I'm thinking about different things to do with these. And I hope you all like those because I may do that when I get back from my travels. I will do those. But anyway, so then, so we did the spiculums, but it was also really lovely because I got to learn more about Betty Helen Longy. If you're interested in hammer forming or metal forming or any kind of, anti-classic forming, synclassic forming, any of that, right now is a really good time to get that. If you go to Andrea's page, she's got some of Betty's tools. She literally wrote the book with Cynthia Eid. It's EID. Eid. I think it's Eid. Cynthia Ide, and it's called Creative Metal Forming, and so these are really cool. I've got some cool ideas. I think I've got some ideas for these. I think one of the things I'm gonna do that I think could be cool is to make these into pins, like maybe like more, but the chunky one, or like like that, and then have stuff like hang, and have it like a charm kind of thing, or have them as like an amulet pendant, and then maybe drill out some holes and some stones, and then maybe solder something on, and then like have a little stacker of different stones that can like move around. Y'all know I like a little bit kinetic and stuff, so that could be a cool idea. But anyway, so if you're looking into that, they have some of Betty's tools for sale that she used and she used to take around for her classes. And unfortunately, Betty, she has the dementia, and so she's in memory care right now. So the purchases of the hammers help, uh, fund her memory care. So, and it's a good way to help support Betty as she's going through this tough time in her life. She's no longer able to communicate verbally. It's one of those things that they've got such good hearts. Andrea was her assistant and worked with her and co-taught with her for over 30 years. And did a lot of the production jewelry for Betty. So it was a real treat to go there and learn about Betty's life and about how she made work. And one of the coolest things, and I don't think I shared this publicly yet, is I got to see her production notes, which I thought was amazing. It just blew my mind because there's like step-by-step formulas of how to make the pieces so that anybody who wants to come in and kind of help can just step in, and as long as they know the basic skills um, of that, then, or you train them how to do it, but then they can step in and make the work. So I'm definitely going to start doing that. Back in the day, I mean, this is 20 years ago that I used to do this. I used to work for books and magazines, and I would design projects for other people so that they could then make their own projects. So it's not a foreign concept to me, but I don't really do that for my own work, which is kind of silly because it's actually helpful. Usually I make one-offs, and now I'm like, nobody, you may not want to spend $1,000 on one of my pieces, or be able to. You may want to, but you may not be able to. So it's a good thing to be able to have that so that we can start having help making things. And also, if William wants to do it and make things, then he can kind of quickly step in and do that and not have to be like, okay, what's next? What's next? What's next? He can just like, all right, here's what to do. Here's the sample, here's the pattern, here's this, and then done, right? Marion says, it would be wonderful to see what you can do with these. I'm excited. The cool thing is that I can also ink these up and then use them on paper. So not only is it going to help my metal smithing and my metals world, but I can also use that for mixed media work too. So, so we went over spiculums, and I was real honored. I felt so special to be able to see all the things I got to see. I got to see some of Heki Seppa's samples. He was an artist who brought over some of these techniques and introduced them. And then Andrea, she demoed how to do this anti-classic bracelet. This is going to be one of my homework projects before I go back down and make a bunch of these. But imagine this technique, but with like a cool texture. Like, just imagine that could be a real cool thing, I think. And I think we're also looking to do like some more finished jewelry shows because we've kind of steered away from that because we never wanted to compete with our customers, but I think as I'm starting to work more and starting to develop my metalsmithing skills more, I don't think there's really that going to be that kind of conflict. If anything, the rising tide raises all boats. So we're going to try to do some more markets and shows and get more production pieces out there so that, we can have multiple revenue streams. One of the shows that we usually do in Pittsburgh for the holidays that we've done for the past couple years, we didn't get it to do the sponsored booth this year. So we're going to start looking for alternatives for that because that did help a lot to get through winter. So anyway, so a lot of work. I'm excited. My head is stuffed to the brim full of things, and I have a couple days until I go to my next workshop, which is going to be at Touchstone, and I'm going to be working with Sandra McEwen, who is known for her enamel work and for her cloisonne and champlevé pieces. The cloisonne is kind of like in the champlevé, which is pretty cool. I love her videos on YouTube, and she also has a Twitch channel. I don't actually know how to use that, but every once in a while I'll pop on. But let me do a little quick project for y'all. Something simple to get you in the mood for some bone. If you don't want to use bone, you could actually make yourself with some of this, the spiculums, and then you could use that. But we're going to use these bone tubes. They're tapered tubes. I like these because they have little gold paint embellishments. So I think these are really cool. There's just a little flash of metallic. So it's something that, will catch the eye in the light. So those are going to come up. We did run these before in a live, but William's going to run them again because we have a couple more strands left of this. And I think, did you break this strand up or is it?
I didn't even run those ones, but I can.
Okay, he's going to run those so that y'all can get them. All right, so I'm going to cut this off. This is great because I'm just going to use, for the earrings, I'm just going to use 2 of them. All right. So I think I'm gonna do 2 samples. I'm gonna do 1 sample more fancy, and I'm gonna do 1 sample less fancy. So for the earrings, so I've got these. I because they're hand carved, they're all a little bit different. So I found 2 pairs that kind of match up. They're relatively close. And what I'm going to do is for the first pair, I'm going to use some size 6 seed beads. Now, these are silver lined amber seed beads. I got these from Twisted Sister back in the day, y'all. If you don't know Leslie Pope, you should look her up. She's a good friend of mine, and I adore her to the moon and back. And she's good people. So, and I think her cat needs help, and so she's having a sale, 30% off in her online store. So if you need to look her up, look her up. One thing that I really liked about Andrea and Chuck is that they're always helping other people, including myself. And if we've always kind of lived by that same philosophy. in theory, I could just like only show things that we do and, use our time only for us. But I've always tried to help the community and other artists or people because other people who have helped us. And I feel fortunate to be able to share that and do that. So why wouldn't I try to help my friends when they're in need? So anyway, she's having a 30% off. Her name is Leslie Pope, and her company is called Twisted Sister Beads, and Sister is spelled like this. So, we know what it's like. We're about to fundraise for our cats to get their surgeries because it's not cheap to do that. And we have 3 little girls, and the girl cats cost more than the boy cats. So, anyways, I've got these head pins. These head pins are about 2 inches, and they're a gold-plated head pin. And they're just, pretty basic. Do we have these head pins in the store? Oh, excuse me. If you need them, go on ahead and send us an email at info@Allegory Gallery, and I'm sure we've got head pins at the shop. And so for the first ones, we just need a simple stop bead. This is going to keep the other bead from falling off. I mean, that's not a wild concept. That's just simple, basic, easy peasy. I'm going to string on my bone bead right now. Angela said Leslie Pope's Twisted Sister. Leslie Pope, like she's the Pope, the Catholic Pope. But she's not the Catholic Pope. She's a Pennsylvania friend that I've known for years and years, and she does seed beading. Anyway, so here we go. So I put 1 size 6 silver lined amber bead. And I like this because it has kind of a metallic flair to it. I know I need to drink water because look, it's indented. Do y'all ever do that? You ever poke yourself like that with something dull, not sharp? And if it bounces back, then you got enough water. If it doesn't, that means you need to drink a glass of water. Anyway, so I strung up 1 size 6, 1 2 bead, and another size 6. And then I need some round nose pliers, some chain nose pliers, and an ear wire. And that's going to be our basic earring. And you're going to see how quick that is as I slow down. So fast, so easy. And Andrew said, "Thank you so much." No, thank you. You're awesome. So I wire wrap differently than everybody else that I know, but I was self-taught. So when I started learning to make jewelry, so everybody wire wraps differently. This one, if you have like He-Man strength and you like to really grip the metal, this is not for you. Because guess what? You're going to ding up the metal and it's going to have a little dimple in it that's going to be a weak spot. If you have a lighter touch, like how I do, then you will be able to do this. I've made millions of wire wraps using this technique. And it's just different than everybody else that I've seen. But this is how I do it. So I go up. I've got the wire here. I go up about 1/2 inch to 1/4 of an inch, and then I just bend the wire over. See this? You got that little U shape. I reinsert my round nose pliers. This is basically my mandrel. All right, y'all. You don't know what mandrel is? This is the tool I'm using to form the loop. If I make the loop closer to the tip, the loop is going to be smaller. If I make it closer to the base, it's going to be bigger. If you are going into production mode and you need all those loops to be the same size, you can take my very favorite, the Adenti pen, and mark that onto your pliers. And then you line that up where your loop is, and you can make that over and over. But after you do about the 1,000th one, then you don't need that. You just know, because it's just like, all right, I'm gonna make it in that same spot. All right. So then what I do is I using both my fingers but also the pliers. If I don't have enough wire, I can also walk this up. See, I can walk this up and then bend that wire over so that it's making kind of like a karate chop. So here's the loop, here's a karate chop. I've got this in here. I put this in. I'm going to switch this hand so y'all can see. I'm going to bend that up a little bit more aggressively, and that's made a loop. And then I just kink that into a 90-degree angle. So this little karate chop arm is at a 90-degree angle to the main wire. I put this back on my mandrel, and I take my chain nose pliers. This is a round nose plier, this is a chain nose plier. And I grab the tip and I just wrap this around. Now notice I'm not holding on for dear life and never letting go. I am going in quarter turns and working with the wire so that it's moving around this core wire. I've seen where people will hold on and they just go like this, but then the end of the wire gets all chewed up and then they have to chop it off, which if you're planning to chop it off, that's fine, whatever. But I like kind of just to not have to do that. So I just keep that there. And then when I get down to the end, so I've got that little, I haven't tucked it in all the way yet. What I do is I take that very tip and I just slightly, ever so slightly, kink that in, going towards my coil. And the reason why I do this is because if you try to, if this is the end of your wire and you don't conform it like that, if you don't add that, what's going to happen is you're going to fold that into your wrap and the very tip is going to still be sticking out like this. All right. So if I bend this over like this slightly and I put this in there, it's going to conform to the coil and you're not going to have it stick out and you don't have to really like aggressively go over it. I've seen if it does happen where that happens where you still have that little thing, you can take a crimping plier that has a wide enough kind of indentation and you can go around it and tuck that little end in. But that's just a little trick that I've done over the years and it makes my life easier. And when I don't do that trick, I find that I have more problems. Now, one thing that I always recommend doing is even if you're beading and you're just doing something like this, wear safety glasses because sometimes if this plier, if you slip, you can hit this glass bead and then it pops and then then you have to hope that it doesn't pop in your eye. And then you just tuck your wire in. And I like to use, in my head pins that I like to use dead soft or half hard. And if you use work hardened head pins, then sometimes it makes it so that it's harder to manipulate the wire because it's not soft. You can do it, you just have to kind of be more aggressive. But when you're more aggressive, there's more chances of it breaking. So that's just a real simple little quick tutorial. I love these earring wires. These are lever back earring wires and they're like this. I love these. And then I'm just going to use my pliers and open this up, slip this on. And if you're not talking, this business goes real quick. And you can just bust these out all day long. And there you go. That's one way. Like I make these earrings. I used to sell these all the time. I had a little rack next to the checkout register, and in the slow times, I would just have my little messy tray of beads, and I would make these little funky earrings all day long, and that would be that. All right, I'm gonna get mixed metal with this because I don't have. Because I don't have the bronze wire. I like bronze wire. This is 22 gauge copper wire. This is a dead soft wire. I'm gonna show you on the spool. So what I'm gonna do is, you can take and file this down if you want. That will be a nice thing if you do it. If you don't do it, nobody's gonna know. Hopefully nobody's gonna know. And then you're just going to gently walk this over and make kind of like a hook. This is a weird angle, but you're going to make like a little hook. See that little hook? I'm getting all these little bits of this string on. All right. So you're going to start that, and then you're going to just gently work that on. And then you're going to kind of close that up. I don't know if you can see that. You probably can't see that. So you're going to close that up. And you're going to kind of tuck that in. You can tell I haven't done a tutorial for a while. Thanks. More people are watching, finally. No, it kind of hurt my feelings when everybody turns off the TV when I come on. So I've made this little loop at the end, like so. Oh, I lost a person. Great. Fun. Alright, anyways. I'm gonna twist this around. And as I'm doing this, I'm gripping the whole thing. I'm gripping the whole thing and twisting. See there? I'm gripping the whole thing and twisting. I'm not just gripping here, I'm gripping the whole thing and twisting. And the reason why is that if you don't grip the whole thing, sometimes your wire can slip and get wonk-a-doodle. And then your spirals are extra organic and not like this grocery store. It looks kind of chewed up. So, and then when I get ready, then I take my pliers, my chain nose pliers, and I get in there, and I'm gonna try to twist this so that it makes a shape like this. Now, if I had a bench block with me, what I would do is I'd put this on the bench block and take a nylon or rawhide mallet. And when you get rawhide mallet, you kind of have to rough up the end because sometimes it's got glue on the end, and that glue is hard and it's going to chew up your metal. So you take off that glue on the end of that, and that's going to make it nice and like how it's supposed to be, and not chew up your metal. And then I'm going to put it over my bench pin or my bench block and just lightly tap that and work hard on this. And then that way, that business is not going to come loose. All right. Then I can cut this to however long I want for my ear wire. I gave myself a little bit extra material here. And then I'm going to do the same thing that I did. I'm going to string up one size 6 silver lined seed bead. I'm going to put one of the tubes and then another one of those. And then we're going to do what we did before. But I'm going to show you an alternative. So say you have an ear wire that is soldered shut and you don't have that little split. How you do that? So we go up about 1/2 inch, fold it over. You made your little inverted U shape. Put that back in there. Wrap this around. Made a karate chop, y'all. And you notice I tweaked that so they're on the same plane. That's so your earrings don't twist in the wind. Because sometimes if your base and your loop are different, sometimes it has a natural curvature and they'll want to like twist. So just keep that in mind. I mean, you don't have to keep it that much in mind, but you'll notice after a quick minute that that's going to happen. So I put my round nose pliers back in there. And then I cinched it. And then you've got it at a 90-degree angle-ish. That one's kind of ish. But I'm not going to close it up yet. So if you have something with a soldered ear wire loop or whatever, or if you're making a wire wrap link chain, you will have this and then pry this open gently so that there's a little gap. Boy, my nails are rough, y'all. And then you slip this on like so, and then you have that. So it's on there like that. And then you close that up by gently smashing those together, just like how we do a jump ring. And sometimes I have 2 chain nose pliers instead of using this, because this is, if you go too hard with this, you can ding up your wire. And then I'm just gonna wrap this around and wrap this around. Notice the ends of my wire aren't getting chewed up. And then I'm going to be festive and I'm going to wrap around the bead. And then before I get into the end, y'all know what I'm going to do, right? I hope you do. If you didn't, maybe if you missed the last part. And then I'm going to kind of tweak that a little bit so that it's got kind of like a Category 5 hurricane kind of thing. And then I'm just going to put this underneath this size 6 seed bead. And you may have to kind of adjust it a little bit. It may not want to go like underneath there, but if you kind of play around with it, you can kind of get it so that it will go underneath there. And then you kind of just straighten it out. And if you work hard in your wire, like I mentioned, it won't be so weeble wobbly. And then you have a little decorative little twisty swirl on there, like the soft serve. All right, so that's just one way that you can make and dress this up. If you're like, that's too plain, well, this is one way, and you can have a little bit extra. All right, y'all like that, or you think that looks like hot garbage? It's quiet, so maybe it's all y'all think it looks like.
Everybody's been so quiet.
They think it looks like garbage, and they're being polite. They'll be like, "Ooh, boy, what happened? You used to make nice stuff." Oh, no. Don't say that. I'll go cry. All right. Suzanne says, no. Marion said, looking good. You don't like that? You don't like the twisty swirl at the top? That was too much? All right. I like it. I think that turned out nice. I feel like if I work hard in the wire a little bit, and another way that you can work harden it is if you have 2 bench blocks, you can roll the flat wire, or like say you get this and it's wavy gravy style. You put this on one bench block and you get another and you just roll it and it will straighten this out. I saw somebody, they took the wire and they put it in a vise and then they snapped it and it turned perfectly straight. And I thought about like snapping a belt, and then I got the PTSD. So then I was like, I just straighten it another way. Sometimes people use nylon wire jaws on their pliers, and then they go like this, and they can straighten the wire also. Another way that you can straighten wire is grab the tip. And if you have another chain nose plier, you put that like this, and then you twist it slightly, and it kind of does that. But it does, if you are going to do any kind of manipulation like this spiral, You want at the end, you want that to be dead soft. You don't want that business to be work hard, because then you're gonna be sad in your heart because you're gonna be struggling and fighting. And when you could have just done it when it's not, and then it moves like the water and the breeze and the flow. All right, I'm done. All right, and you want these to match, you just do another one. Right now it's a little asymmetrical, but you do what you want. All right, William, you're up.
What's up?
Did y'all like that? Or you're like, ugh, I thought he's done with that talk business. You know what? This also, I could have had that little log in the thing in the picture, and then y'all could have had that color corrected. I'll finish these up off camera so that y'all don't have to watch that. Like Teletubbies, they're gonna be like, again. All right. Marianne says, thank you, Andrew. All right, that's so y'all don't, I don't want to just show you only things for sale. Now that we done open the store again, then I have a little bit more brain capacity to be able to make projects for y'all again. So if you've been missing the projects, hopefully I'll get to do more, and then you'll feel happy in your heart and not disappointed. All right, William.
Which ones are those ones that you get? Those ones. Add those to the list.
Whoa, look what we made. I'm not going to do the finger dance how William does.
No. Why not?
That's your thing. You and Diane can bond over finger dancing.
Oh no, you gotta clean your stuff up here.
An evening of finger dancing. I'm going to do it. Go ahead, sit down. Start.
Okay, well, I can't. These are now out of order. Okay. All right, everybody. Hello, everybody.
And then I accidentally made that go black.
Like that.
So beautiful. Oh, Cindy said, what's she saying?
Says, love all the analogies. No, not hot garbage. I like the twisty soft serve swirl. It's better than me just mushing the wire after wrapping. LOL. Okay, let me get my other. Ooh, you got darkness. There we go. Let's get the light on there.
I don't like the lights because it's hot.
I know.
Some people can't see.
I know.
But that's just a quick demo, y'all. I didn't prepare for that. Not even in my mind. I just went with it. I used my heart and helped you.
All right, everybody.
Y'all like that? They didn't like that.
Are you ready for some bone beads?
Y'all ready after I bored y'all?
Bone beads. We're starting with BB31 tonight.
How come you're getting set? You're not from the South, William. I'm from the South. I'm allowed to have a Southern accent. You're from the
You're
North
the only one I
Country.
talk to, so when you get it, it's going to happen.
Okay, y'all. Get ready to enjoy.
All right. This is BB31. If you'd like to claim any of these, send us an email with the lot number BB31. For example, in the subject line to info@allegorygallery.com. First come, first serve. For example, there is only one of these. So first person gets it. Suzanne's asking another 30 lots. There are going to be 31 tonight because we added that last one for the ones that Andrew just showed you how to use in his tutorial.
I want you to be able to make those if you're going to make them.
Yeah, you can make that exact thing.
Yes, you can make that. It's not going to hurt my feelings.
Make it, sell it, use it,
Correct.
make some money off of it.
If you want to tell people that you learned from me that and learn that, then you can. But if you don't, that's okay because I'm not going to know about it.
This is BB31, $10 for this strand. This is the whole strand of bone beads, done this batik dyed bone.
I love those.
These little stars.
Y'all, you know I have a deep and
There's
abiding.
one on here that has like the apostrophe.
You know I have the deep and abiding love for stars.
Yes, you do. This is about an 8.5-inch strand. Bone beads, BB31, only one of them available. Send us an email for that, and it's yours if you get there first. BB31.
And those are done in Africa.
Africa.
And do you know what batik means?
If you've been watching, you know what batik means. I talked about it yesterday.
If you don't know, they paint it on with a wax, the design, and then they dye the bone, they dye the bone, and where the wax was a white part, and where the black part is not.
Right. So this white part was all covered in wax. They dye it. It soaks into the rest of it, and then they take the wax off.
And then they also use that wax to help polish it.
There you go.
What? Oh my gosh.
Marion says, I pick up accents all the time. Me too. Just got to be with someone for a little while.
Me too.
And so these are 35 cents each, everybody. Only 35 cents each. Divided these up so they're not in a whole strand for you, so you don't have to buy the whole strand. BB32 bone beads, 35 cents each. Let me just give you a size of one of these, about 8 millimeters by about 25 millimeters. The hole on these is about 2.5 millimeters. Batik dyed bone, BB32, 35 cents each.
That's a good price.
That's a very good price.
No need to buy that by the strand, and it's not inexpensive.
Yeah, a lot of times you buy bone by the strand from most places. We're letting you buy a lot of these by, I do have some strands tonight, but we're letting you buy them by the bead. So you don't have to spend all your money on one strand. You can mix and match.
Yeah, if you just want one bead.
Trying to make it easy for y'all to get these and try them out.
Use them.
Yes, use them,
We
use
want
them.
you to use them.
We want to see you design with them. We want to see you sell things with them. All right, these are bone crosses. They're all different. You can pick one if you'd like. You have to send us a screenshot of that if that's what you want. Otherwise, we will pick for you. Oops, I missed one of these. These are $1.50 each only for these crosses. I know, $1.50 each. 7 of them available. 7 of them available. I'll leave them here so you can take a screenshot if you want to pick one. You have to send that screenshot along in an email if you'd like a particular one. Otherwise, we will pick for you. Randomize. BB33, $1.50. $1.50 each one. There are 7 of them available. Wait, there are 6 of them available. What happened to the 7th one? I guess there are only 6 of them available. Maybe I lost it along the way. I did have 7 of them. All right, so for now, there's only 6 of them available, everybody.
One got claimed by the universe.
So yeah, the universe claimed one somewhere along the way. I swear I had 7 of them. Price just went up now. Huh. If I'd stopped dropping them, I probably dropped it. There it is. I did drop it. Okay, there are 7. Let me put them back out. Let me put them back out. The one that got away. Okay, there they are. Now there's 7 available. I knew there were 7. Marion says, my dad asked why I used to sing with an English accent. I expect it was from all the songs I sang were from English artists. Okay. These are those little flags again. We had some of these yesterday. These are a different print on these, a different design. And these are like these little flags. And they are $4 each. There are 10 of these available. And they are done on both sides. Batik dyed bone from Africa. BB 34.
Are people liking this?
No, no one's saying anything. I'm just talking to myself out here. Poor William, talking to himself again. Y'all, if you've never done a live before, maybe you don't know this, but it's really hard when no one says anything back. And then you don't know if people are still watching, if people like what you're doing. It's like giving a presentation to a crowd where you get no facial reaction from anybody. If you've ever done that, I've had to do that. I took public speaking classes in college, and sometimes people do not react at all. And you're like the whole time thinking, do people like this? Do people not like this? Do they like me? Do they like what I'm saying? That's what it's like when we don't see any comments at all. So comment, everybody. Let us know
Unless
when you
you're
like
too
something.
busy claiming, then you can do everything.
Yeah, if you're too busy claiming, then keep claiming. But so far we have no claims. So,
What?
I know. These are from Kenya, specifically Kenya, they tell me. And these are BB35, $6 each. And these are about 3 1/4 by about 1/2 inch at the widest. Marianne says, hard to show facial reactions in comments. I know. That's why you have to say things, Marianne. I had to just combine it because most people don't do lives, but a lot of people have given a presentation in their life. So I had to give the analogy. But you can use emojis too in your comments. That's a way to do it. Suzanne says, I just claimed. Thank you. These are really cool. I cannot believe if these don't sell. They're crazy. These are puzzle piece like beads. They look like puzzle pieces. Or they're actually pendants, not beads. The hole goes through the top. They're carved out like puzzle pieces. They do not fit together though. But they are carved out like puzzle pieces. BB36. BB36. Now Marianne's giving me funny faces. Does that mean you don't like me, Marianne? You making fun of me now? Making fun of me? See, you got to be careful which ones you're giving me too, Marianne. I'm going to start to get a complex over here. BB36. I know, it's never enough, is it, Marianne? These are about 1 1/4 by about 7/8 of an inch. BB36, $6 each for the puzzle piece bone pendants. I've never seen these before. I really like them.
Isn't the puzzle piece for awareness?
One of them, some kind. Autism awareness, I think, does a puzzle piece. I think. Suzanne says, so different. I know. You've seen a lot of bone. You like the bone beads. You know that's different. BB37. These are Kenyan bone buttons. These are a dark. They're only 50 cents each. What? 50 cents each for these bone buttons. There are 10 of them available. I'm like, did I get the price right on that? 2 hole. They don't have to be buttons. They could also be a spacer of some sort if you wanted to, depending on how you're using them. If you're doing a 2-row something and you want something wide in there. Or an end, yeah, like Andrew said, like the end, like a toggle through the button. Angela says it's a purple piece for autism.
Well, guess what?
You can dye bone.
Yeah. If you don't, you can use alcohol inks. They will penetrate the bone. However, you do have to keep them not stored in bright sunlight. Otherwise, the alcohol inks will fade. The next ones. 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43. These are the 50s. Whoop. Suzanne said, tried to dye bone, but it didn't take. Found out it was acrylic, LOL. You can sometimes dye acrylic. You just have to heat it, though. Which you should do with lots of ventilation.
Marianne has little money. More than I have for beads at the moment. We get it. We get it. See, then you're not busy claiming. You can make lots of comments about how you love all of these.
What did your neighbor sing you this week?
I don't think you had your singing neighbor this week, did you? Last week?
What happened?
Didn't you say he wasn't singing? All right, these are really cool. I've got 3 packs of these.
I want him to sing you Total Eclipse of the Heart.
Total Eclipse of the Heart. Here's a little moon, like an eclipse.
Do you want to know what I was listening to? I was listening to, okay, so 2 things. I was listening to Brandon Sanderson's Trust. It's supposed to be in the world of The Princess Bride, but I don't know about that.
Each one of these has 10 of the black moons and 2 of the white. And they're $10 for a bag for the grouping of all of these. There are 3 bags available of these.
And then I also found Matthew Perriman Jones, and I really like his. He had the voice of an angel. Yeah.
No singing last week. I think he is having a staycation. Marianne says, I love all of them. Good. I love these too. I know not everyone likes the bone stuff, but I do.
I like it. And it's also vintage, so.
Right.
If you're gonna use bones, I think it's better to use the vintage.
Yes. BB39 is this whole bag of this mix matched. You get some of the rondelles, and you get some of these long tubes. And these are about 6 millimeters by about 37. And the rondelles are about 13 millimeter rondelles. You get the whole bag, only 1 bag available, $10. You get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 tubes and 4 rondelles for $10. Marian says, I especially love the ones Andrew used for his demo. They're coming up at the end, everybody. I added them on at the end. That's why we're doing 31 lots tonight.
They painted it.
Yeah, that was painted.
Yeah, you can paint on the bone if you want. You just have to use a sturdy paint, like oil-based paint. Not oil paint, oil-based.
Oil-based. Different from oil paints.
Correct. I mean, I bet you could. but I don't know about that. I have to experiment. And then, I love vintage bikini pants. If you can find the old recipe.
BB40 are these 3-hole beads. And you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 of them, except one of them is a 2-hole. So you're getting 20 of the 3-hole and the extra 2-hole as a bonus for $10. Get the whole bag of them for $10. Only one bag of these available. $10. And again, we're giving you the old prices. The old prices. These are the prices that they were way back when they were being sold before they went vintage and got stored away and came to us.
Are you doing a sale tonight?
Oh, I didn't, but I should. Here, 10% off. There you go, everybody. 10% off on these since we gave you 10% off last night. We'll give you 10% off all these prices tonight, too.
I'm looking forward to catching up on House of the Dragon.
Oh.
We were watching it last, or whenever it came on.
Yeah, we haven't seen it since.
I know. I'm looking forward to eating.
To eating? I'm very hungry, too. I was watching, what was I watching? So Help Me Todd. I was talking about this, how I love this show that I've been watching. I highly do not recommend it now, everybody.
What happened?
The first season had 20 episodes.
Okay.
The second season had 10 out so far, and they stopped in May, so I thought they must be taking a break. No, the series ended on a cliffhanger, they don't show this one person the whole, 2 seasons. And they're going to meet this person. He steps out of the elevator, and it cuts away, and that's the last episode ever. Very unfulfilling. So it got canceled.
Oh, it got canceled.
That's what I mean. The series ended. It got canceled, and there's never going to be an answer. So I just highly recommend not watching it now.
What? Just ask. Is that the one with Marcia Gayheart?
I don't know who the people are.
That dude from Pitch Perfect?
You know I don't know.
The one he sings.
I think so. I recognized him from something.
Or the Zoe.
I think it's from, maybe that one. Suzanne had ice cream.
That sounds great.
That sounds good. Andrew, are you going vegan now? What's happening? Are you doing vegan now?
Who, me?
Yeah.
I think that I tried it one time and that was hard. I think I'm going to try to go and, do what I can to do,
These are some 4-hold ones in the black dyed bone. Some of the 3-hold ones. You got an extra 2-hole one in here. $10 BB41. One of those available. These are great if you want to use them on like a bracelet to keep your strands separated. If you're doing a multi-strand bracelet, they help keep everything separated and from just jamming all together. If you're wondering how you might be able to use those. Marion says, not good. No, it is not good. They have a what do you call it? A list out that you can sign up and try and be like, bring back season 3. Maybe another network will pick it up and continue it. I actually thought it was a good show. I enjoyed it a lot. But
I think it's because they made him look short.
They made him look short.
They lit him in such a way that he looked so short next to all the other actors. Did you not agree?
I didn't notice it while I was watching it.
I looked at stuff like lighting, And they try to do that touch by an angel lighting where like everybody has that gentle glow to the top of their head. But the thing about that is that if you have that on one person and then you have it on another, you can see the difference. And sometimes, not that everybody has to be like tall or whatever, because I'm not tall, but
No.
like, definitely.
Definitely not tall. Not you. No, but yeah, I could see that. These are pendants. Beautiful bone pendants. They are only $6 each. BB42. BB42. BB43. These are really cool. These are kind of U-shaped pendants. They have the hole there. Now this one is the only one, I think. So all of these, I didn't even notice, I just happened to pick that one up first. All of these have 2 holes except the one, of course, that I picked up to show you. So really there's 11 of these that have 2 holes. They have a hole at the top, a hole at the bottom. But there's no, if you want just a pendant with no hole at the bottom, there's one of those. You can ask for that.
You can also drill bone if you have that.
Yeah, you could drill that if you wanted to yourself. But if you claim these, unless you claim the one with just 1 hole, you're going to be getting 2 holes in them anyway. But you can drill any of this bone if you want to drill it yourself too.
It smells terrible.
Yeah.
Just so you know, you should do it underwater.
It's like drilling shell. Sometimes that's terrible smelling. You get that fish smell.
This one gets like a gasoline smell. One time I had this Ojime box, it was carved bone, and I was like, what's that smell? And they had carved out the middle of the Ojime, or the Inro box, and I kept going, here, smell my owl. And I said that to Angela, and she just got so tickled by it. She made me a bead that says, smell my owl.
Smell my owl. All right.
I don't think that one went into production.
All right. We have these Gigundo beads.
Those are beautiful.
These are really beautiful. They are gigantic beads. And there are different patterns on here. You're going to get a random one. But they are, let me give you a measurement on, I'll just grab this big one here, about 25.5 millimeters by about 15 millimeters. They're $5 each. This was by the strand. This was a $200 strand, everybody, just so you know. And that was from the prices from way back. That's a $200 strand. So we broke it down. They're $5 each. So see, 40 of them available, $200. $5 each was a $200 strand. Beautiful beads. Big, chunky goodness. You see the thread going through there, very thick. You could get some leather through those beads if you wanted to. BB44. $5 a bead. We'll pick you random beads, however many of them you want, up to 40. Want the whole strand for $200? You'll get 10% off today only. So you get that for $180. That's a really nice strand for $180, honestly. And then we have these, $3 each. There are 13 of these beads. These are really pretty. I like these ones. They're kind of on the gray side again. Some of these are on the gray side. I love when they have that gray look to them, but I love how these are. Not a lot of these are selling over the last 2 days, so I know I'm going to be picking a few for myself because there are going to be some leftovers.
Those are so cool.
I know these are one of the ones that I will definitely be picking some of myself.
I think for like bracelets, that would be cool for like a chunky bracelet.
Yep.
Or just putting it on like maybe how big the holes are pretty large.
Yep.
So
You see the string going through them.
doing some kumihimo and running that through and having like a couple. I was at a dinner the other night, and one of the girls who's a resident at Aeromont, she had a bunch of those Neolithic quartz beads on a string on a necklace, and they look so good. And it was just a simple thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think like if you had that with some of those quartz beads or some other disc-shaped beads, that could be really stunning and really simple.
Yep. Like some of those. Where are they from last night? Like even these from last night. If you use these from last night in between, and you put some of those in between these, like look how beautiful that would be. Suzanne says, wish I worked with leather. Those are beautiful.
You could use silk with some braided.
Mm-hmm. Knotting silk in between.
You could use cotton cording hemp.
Yeah, imagine if you knotted silk in between, like the larger silk knotted in between
like
those.
The touch of, if you don't like the feel of hemp, you can wax the hemp, and that will take off some of that kind of rough feeling.
Hey, Amy. Amy says, with some big chunky agate or jaspers. Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Imagine that, or some opals, like a Peruvian opal, the blue Peruvian opal in between there with that color.
Here, touch this one.
Like these. These are a jasper.
That would be cool.
It'd be very pretty. I know we've had some of these. The moonstone in between there. Imagine moonstone in between that. Oh. There's some, you can put some turquoise in between there. Look how beautiful it blends with turquoise because of the brown. Look how beautiful that would be. I'm pulling stuff, random stuff from the desk, and it all looks beautiful. You could use some, look at that. Use some lampwork glass in between there. Random stuff, y'all. Random stuff from the desk, and it's all looking beautiful with these. A lot of people are like, I don't know what to do, how to use the bone.
I gave an idea.
Andrew gave ideas. We're pulling random stuff off the desk today, and it works. What kind of other random stuff might I have here?
This. Ooh. Mommy, daddy. Here you go.
Metal
Grab
spacers.
this.
Oh, yeah, look. Use some amber.
Look at that.
Look at that. Don't tell us you don't know how to use the bone.
Leave the Neolithic queen up in there.
Don't tell us you don't know how to use the bone, because
That's
just
nice.
everything we've been putting with it, grabbing things, is working. Look at that.
There, if you don't like the earth or the browns and reds, here you got some green.
Check that. Check if you put the green in between.
I think what is that? Chrysoprase or chrysocolla? I can't see from here. Maybe some serpentine.
Beautiful. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. Look, did anybody buy any of these pearls? You got those center drilled pearls?
It's different.
Look at that between there.
It gives it a different vibe.
Much different vibe, right? So,
Put a little class in that sack.
right? Marion says the same way you would use any other bead, right?
You know, I think sometimes people, they have like an idea that this is like, you know, tribal.
Yeah, it has to be made tribal, or has to be made, you know, kind of basic, or it doesn't. You can dress it up, you can dress it down, you can make it yours, just like anything else. You just got to play around. Okay, where more?
What number?
I don't know. That was 45. 46, 47, 48.
All right. Well, let's take a break from the phone for a second.
We were going to
Yeah.
with shell. We've got some shell for y'all.
And some of the shells used to be used for currency.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's a pretty cool kind of historical thing.
So these are assorted shells, different sizes. We're going to bag them up for you.
This is good for it, even if you're not making jewelry out of them,
Yeah, if you're doing mosaics,
or just put it in a jar.
put it in a dish. You get all different little assorted shells. They're really pretty, especially I like the small ones especially. Let me grab a handful out of this bag just so you can see. Look at all those. Like, look how pretty some of these really are. You're getting $5 a bag. There are 5 bags available. Look at those little ones. Nice, beautiful little shells. Marion says, I have shells in a dish. Yep. Can certainly do shells in a dish. Look how pretty. Tiny, tiny little shells. So you get a whole bag of them, a 2x3 bag. $5 each. 5 of them available. BB46. BB47. Rocks in a crop. Good, good. Now this we're selling you the whole strand because it's already strung up. And these are the Cowrie drilled. It's a double strand, 36-inch strand for $30.
Isn't that lovely?
This is a gorgeous, and they're really nice quality shells. Beautiful strand, super light because they're shells. Just gorgeous. Only one strand available, BB47. It says it's a 36-inch strand, but this is going about to 10, 20, 30, 40, and they're double. It's a double strand. Double strand. Only $30, one strand available. I wasn't going to take those apart because they're done so nice. They're done so nice. And it gives you an idea how you could restring them if you wanted to string them up that way. BB48, another bag of shells. These are the Cowrie shells. Generally, there might be some assorted shells in there, but they're larger in size. And they have a hole drilled in, generally each one, for you to be able to string up. BB48, $5 each. 4 bags available. BB48. Okay. BB49, we're going to switch into something else. We have some beautiful heavy brass spacers. These are really cool. These are heavy brass spacers. Look how thick they are. They're pretty thick. They have a really nice look to them. They're 5 millimeters. And they're 55 cents a spacer. 55 cents a spacer. This whole strand was about $75. And I said, I don't know if anybody's going to want $75 worth of spacers. Maybe. I like this strand just as it is. I think this would be cool to just restring like this. But if you wanted to use them as spacers, and they do have weight to them. They're nice and big, nice and heavy.
Let me tell y'all, forming metal's not easy.
So those are
it's worth it.
55 cents a spacer for as many as you want. Multiple lots available. BB49. Danette's going to rewatch the rest tomorrow. Good night, she says. Good night, Danette. BB50. Now this one we're selling to you as the whole strand because it's only $20. And it is a strand of brass spacers, but these are large hole but thin. So as the other ones were thick and heavy, these are thin and light. Very large hole spacers. You can see how they're made. Just a very cool thing if you're using African metal beads, using some of this bone with the thicker cording. Just really cool metal spacers. Again, that's the old price from years and years and years ago. BB50, $20. Suzanne says, very nice. I know, I like that strand a lot. I think that would go with a lot of natural beads. Go with gemstones. Really go well with bone, wood, and other African metals. Okay. Now, again, we're going to do strands of these because they're strung together, and I really like the way, when I was telling you that they have the holes drilled in those larger ones, this is kind of what you can do with them. These are the mini cowries done in a double strand. So see how they have another hole drilled through them that way? So you can string these together by looping them through. And you can create strands like this doing that. And so these are about 30-inch strands, is what they say. Let's see here. I think they're a little bit shorter than that. 12, 24, 5, 26, 27, 28, about 28-inch strands. And they are the double strands because they have double the beads. And they're $30 for the whole strand. And again, I left these instead of pulling them all apart to sell in the bags because it shows you how you can string these through. They kind of loop through each other so that you can get this very cool look with these. BB51, $30 for the strand. There are 2 strands available. Okay, that was, what number was I on? 51. Okay, we're going back to some bone, and we're going back to some antler. We have these pieces of antler, $3.50 each. There are 13 pieces available. These are, let me grab one of these, approximately about 13.5 by 20.5 millimeters. And the holes on these are pretty large. Let me see if I can get in there. They're about 3.5 millimeter holes, which is nice size for using leather with those. BB52, $3.50 each. 13 of them available. 13 of them available. We're doing animal emojis with antlers, right? See, there's lots of ways you can comment with faces and emojis, right? D253. Okay, BB53. Is this a sorted bag? Not really. It's kind of assorted. You get these little hand-carved bone beads. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 of them. There's 16 of them in there. And they're $5 for the bag. 1 bag available. 1 bag available only. $5 for the bag. BB53. Next up, BB54, $3 each. There are 3 of these bags available. These are carved bone rounds. They're about 10 millimeters, and the hole size on these is about 3. Carved bone rounds, and you're getting a bag full of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 16, 17, 26 of them. 26 of them in there for $3. BB54.
People like it.
I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
BB55. We have 3 bags of these ones available. I'm not going to dump all of these out because they're these little tubes. And just to give you an idea, these little tubes, 3.7 millimeters by about 10.5, give or take. Bone tubes. And the holes, let's see if I can get the holes. I can't do it. Let's see here. Let's grab one of these here. The holes through these are about 1.7 millimeters. You get a little bag of them like this. 3 bags available. BB55, $5. Suzanne's back cat had a hairball. That happens. That happens. Let's see here. BB56. BB56. We have, they were $24. Now it's $22. Plus, we're giving you the 10% off, which is a really great deal. It's this necklace and all carved bone. And all this on here. Graduated hand carved beads, plus the kind of bicone rounds. And this is just about an 18-inch, about 17.5-inch strand. $22, plus you'll save that 10% tonight. BB56, one available. One available. BB57. We have these carved moon faces. The holes on these go through the back. They don't come through the front, so you string them back through here. Or you could glue a bell onto them if you wanted to. BB57, hand-carved moon faces, or just faces, just hand-carved faces. In bone, $4 each, 10 of them available. BB57. Sorry, I got something in the wrong bag. Let me switch that. Parting the moon faces. I do too. BB58. This is one of our. Huh? Yeah, I know, right? Those will sell good other places. He says, I keep it. BB58 was $42, taking it down to $38. There's a bail already in this. This is a glued on bail in the back. Hand carved bone face with a dragon. Look at how beautiful that is. So much detail work. We've got eyes glued in there. So much detail work. BB58. Special sale for you extra was $42, now $38, plus 10% off today. Great deal on that. It's almost another $4 off. BB58. BB59. Have 2 strands of these available. Suzanne says, I bet old granite would go with the bone or antler. Yes, it would. An ancient granite we've had. These are kind of like little skull faces, hand carved. BB59. You get the whole strand, was $24, now $22. This is a 22-inch strand. Only 2 of them available. Plus you'll get $2.20 off. Less than $20, everybody. Less than $20 for that strand. What a deal. 2 of them available. BB59. BB60. We've got one strand of this available, one strand left. $6 are these tube beads. These are dyed and then cut out. And these are approximately 4.6 by about 24 millimeters. This is just about a 10-inch strand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 10 bones on there. BB60, one strand available. And the last one tonight,
What?
BB61, the one Andrew showed you. Holy moly, did we give you a good price on these? $10 a strand. The strand looks like this, y'all. It's a 24-inch strand. Are these? Whoa! Just wanted to show you they are painted. Just wanted to show you the earrings Andrew did with those. There's the project. There are the beads. BB61, $10 for a strand. There are multiple strands available. I didn't even count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. About 5 strands available, maybe 6. 5 to 6 strands available. BB61. If you wanted to make the earrings like Andrew showed you,
Or do your own
or
design.
do your own style.
Those would be cool hanging off a chain. Like it would make like a bib style necklace.
Yeah. Wire wrap a bunch of them. BB61.
That could be fun.
All right, everybody. That's the show.
That's the show.
That's the show, y'all. So if you have any questions, again, you know how to reach us. Email us at info@allegorygallery.com. Let me flip this camera around here right quick.
Is anybody on Instagram?
No. Nobody's on the Instagram. At least it's not showing anybody's on the Instagram. All right, everybody. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you.
Suzanne says, good night, great pieces. Thank you. And hopefully you enjoyed that. If you have any questions, again, you know how to reach out to us, and we are here. I'm going to try to invoice for last night's stuff tonight. I got to eat, though. I am hungry. But I would like to get that stuff invoiced tonight. The jewelry sets, I still have a few people I've not invoiced for those because I got to get to the cottage long enough to look through to see if I have multiples of some of them, because some of you ordered something that somebody already requested, and I want to make sure you get it if we have it, because I know we have some multiples of those pieces. I just have to dig through that big box. So that's what the holdup is with that. So other than that, I'm going to try and get the bone done tonight, and you should see your invoices hopefully before morning. All right. Thank you all so much. Have a great evening. Thank you for tuning in. Andrew will be back here with you tomorrow while I'm in my pottery class. And then I'll probably be joining, of course, for the end of that live like I usually do. So we will see you tomorrow. Have a great one, everybody. Bye now.